Well, we have now to talk about Rite Aid, which will be banned for 5 years from using artificial intelligence facial recognition technology in all of its stores.
That's right. The national drugstore chain reached a settlement with the Federal Trade Commission. The FTC says from 2012 to 2020, the company's surveillance system falsely identified some customers as shoplifters. This is the first time the FTC has ever ordered anyone to stop using facial recognition. NBC News technology correspondent Jacob Ward is following this story for us. So, Jake, what exactly did the FTC uncover here, and what's Rite Aid saying?
Well, Zinkley, basically the company contracted out facial recognition to a couple of other companies, and according to the FTC, things got out of hand really quick. I've been talking to people who were closely associated with this project in the past, and they said that the original concept here was that you would, through this database, essentially spot repeat shoplifters and very politely approach them to tell them, may I help you? May I help you? And that they would somehow, be sort of embarrassed into leaving as a result. Instead, things got out of hand. A database that was originally supposed to be full of very high quality images instead got full of smartphone video and news clippings, all sorts of things. And you had employees beginning to essentially improvise and begin hauling people out of line, embarrassing them in front of friends, family, colleagues. Now, Rite Aid looks at all of this and has said that it fundamentally disagrees in a statement with the FTC's findings. It says that this was a limited scope, that it only happened across a handful of stores. And they respect the FTC's inquiry, however, and that is code for the fact that they have, in fact, gone along with this. So they will be banned for 5 years. As you mentioned, they're a first for tech and for the FTC.
Jake, big picture here, what does this settlement mean for facial recognition when it's used in other stores, in airports? We're seeing it sort of everywhere we go.
Well, industry people are telling me that facial recognition is actually something that retailers are pulling away from because they're worried about being accused, the same way that the FTC has essentially accused Rite Aid here, of discriminating against certain categories of shoppers. But more broadly, when I speak to people close to the FTC, they also say that this is a line in the sand about technology in general, that this is basically the beginning of an era in which the FTC is not going to allow companies to experiment in the wild on all of us with unproven technologies. Instead, they'll have to show that these things work, not just in the lab, but out in the world before something like this. And this 8-year episode of what the FTC essentially says was a live experiment, they're hoping is going to be the last one of its kind, you guys.
Wow. All right, Jake Ward, thank you as always.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.